So let's take a look at Mortal Gods from Footsore Miniatures, which was Dark Peak, which was Warbanner, and it will hopefully still be Footsore Miniatures by the time this video comes out on YouTube. So this is the Mortal Gods core box. So I've opened this up already to have a look at the rules. I've also had a look at the miniatures. They've got plastic Victrix miniatures. You've got 6 slingers. You have 8 peltasts stroke javelin men. You've got 8 peltasts and 8 javelin men. You can probably change a couple of these to peltasts if you want to, because you've got 2 of the longer spears here. But to be fair, you've got a spare longer spear here as well. You then also have 16 mercenary hoplites who have largely got linen armour, but you've got a couple with the chest pieces. You can arm these with, you've got some hand weapons, but you've got some other things as well. So that is 16, 32, 38. You then also have, in this box set, a metal Lokagos, who is your general, for 39 miniatures. So, because I opened this to have a look, I also already had a look at the army cards, which I'll pop here. I've not had a look at the injury and the fate cards, which I'll pop here. I've had a look at the dice, which are very nice, and I will pop here. We've got these counters, 20 white, 20 black, 3 red for the fate, which I will pop here. We have the play sheet, which is a quick reference play sheet giving you the core rules. We have the rule book, which is not huge, but gives you the rules, gives you some background, gives you some scenarios, discusses how to recruit your army, and finally we've got the bases, which, give me a second and I will get these out of the box. Found an extra dice. In this set you get a lot of stuff. You've got enough to put together quite a decent sized force, because you can put together 5 hoplite groups, which is going to be about 200 points, a general and a hero for about another 120, and then 2 peltast and 2 javelin and 2 slinger groups for probably about another 200. So you're easily looking at 500 points in here. So you can split that up into 2 250 point-ish armies, or one big 500 point army. If you are getting into Mortal Gods, you absolutely need to get this set. It's got the rules, it's got the dice, it's got the injury and fate cards, it's got the basic army cards, it's got, if you ignore the mercenary hoplites, the support troops that you want for any army that you're going to field. 2 bases of peltasts, 2 bases of javelins, 2 bases of slingers. So with that you can just pop these on any army that you're fielding, whether it's Spartan, Athenian, Thracian, anything. Because these are your support troops. They're not necessarily going to be as uniform as your hoplites, who may all be in the same colour armour, will all have the same shield designs, things like that. So you absolutely do want this set for the rules plus that. You've got an awful lot of these army selection cards. So I'm going to zoom in a bit on these. Again, if you've played Test of Honour, this is going to be very familiar. They've got a more granular point system. So this is medium hoplites. So they've got medium armour, they're a troop, they come in bases of 3 in the diamond formation, sorry, in the triangle formation. They cost 35 points. They got movement 7, 4 attack, 3 defense, 3 wounds per model, 3 bravery, 1 action per turn. And again, as models die, it tells you what's taken away, and you can form them up into groups with 2 other groups of hoplites. So the slingers, 32 points, round base, 8 movement, 3 attack, 2 shields, and you start seeing this. They have made the dice rolls more interesting by having a wild card side. So some of these will have a blue Pegasus and some will have a red Pegasus. If you roll a red if you've got a red Pegasus and you roll a Pegasus, it takes 1 away from your total. If you've got a blue Pegasus and you roll a Pegasus, it adds 1 to your total. So slingers are unarmoured, so if they start taking damage and they roll a Pegasus, then it's an extra point of damage. But Army General. So this is a Locagos with heavy armour, the heavy armour symbol. He's got the blue Pegasus on 3 things, so he's rolling a wild card, and if he gets that, it adds +1 to his total. You've got the medium Locagos with medium armour, 1 higher movement, 1 lower defence. Costs 10 points less. Promacoses are heroes. This is the medium armoured one. Again, you've got the Pegasus, but you've got 2 attacks. They inspire heavy or medium companions within 6 inches to get an extra attack dice. Same as the General does, but the General is also the leader, who can give an order action to any companion unit within 6, which makes him really useful if you've got a big phalanx that you want to move, because they're a unit, they do 1 activation, suddenly you're moving 3 hoplite groups as one, as a free action. You've also got veteran hoplites in here as well. Veteran hoplites can do order the charge. You can make a move action, and then you can order a companion to charge as a free additional action, but you've got to be within 6 inches, and that unit's got to be able to charge as well. Which means you can move these guys up behind your hoplite formations and use them to double the effectiveness of your hoplite formations each turn by charging. You've got, let's see if we've got, veteran archer. Any group of bowmen within 3 inches gets +1 attack dice. They have avoided the problem that you had with Test of Honour with the bow sergeants. So that has sidestepped the whole bow sergeant issue in Test of Honour. In general, reading the rules and reading the cards, they've learnt a lot from Test of Honour. So that means that this looks like a smoother game. They've learned the lessons from Test of Honour. They're not falling into the same traps, which hopefully Test of Honour 2nd edition are going to remedy. The rest of the system, the basic mechanics of Test of Honour, have been translated to ancient Greece. So let's have a look at this. You've got injury cards. Let's see how many you get. Are they mixed in? Yep, you've got a few injury cards. So when your heroes start taking damage, their stats go down. But you've also got gifts and fate. So these are fate cards that you can draw at random. You can also take a seer to be able to do things with the fate deck. Seers are 30 points and let you manipulate the fate deck. So I would actually, a Mantis, Divination, pass a Courage check. You can either cancel an Omen or take the top 3 Omen cards and play one, returning the remaining cards to the bottom. This is once per turn and can't be an order action. You can take one of these guys, but that lets you manipulate this deck. So you can take 3 and then play the good one on your guys and move the negative ones to the bottom. So you don't want to take some of these, but some of these, Warriors assign this Omen, game +2 inches to ranged attacks. That's useful. That means that anybody passes Courage, but everybody takes +1 damage when they need to take a Courage test. Some of these are negative, some of these are positive. But yeah, being able to cycle this deck by taking one of the Seers is a good thing. And then you've got the gift cards. So again, some of these are really good. And I think in the corner this is them having a points cost that lets you take these as like stratagems in order to make your forces more effective. So that is very interesting. It's going to take me a while to go through all of this and get a really good understanding of the rules. This is the number of unit cards you get. So you've got plenty to cover the basic set, you've got plenty to cover everything else. Yeah, I'm impressed with this. The only negative I've got is some of the special characters like Seers and Healers, you only get 1 card. But since the starter is meant to give you enough for a proper army, or to split between 2, you might not necessarily need 2. If you've got opponents getting into the system, they'll pick the setup at some point, and that will give them the cards they need. But you've got 4 archers, 4 veteran hoplites, 4 experienced hoplites, 2 veteran hoplites, 2 veteran archers, things like that. Going through the set, the production values are good. Footsore have made some intelligent choices, so they've not printed the activation counters like Test of Honor did. They've just used these, which are not printed, glass beads, reasonably easily available. You can then go and get custom glass beads of the type that you want if you want to do special ones for your force. But yeah, that's a good choice. You've got the cards, you've got the rules, you've got MDF and cardboard bases, so they're not plastic. You've got the plastic miniatures from Victrix, and you've got metals designed to be in scale with them. You've not got damage counters. You've got damage dice that you put on bases. They've given models multiple wounds, but you can cause multiple damage in an attack. The wild card thing makes this more interesting as well, and gives you a little edge of quality on some of the troop types. Lots and lots of little touches that show that they've understood that while Test of Honor is really good, there's some elements that could be improved. So I've been very impressed with this set. The first printing of this set retails at the recommended price of £40. I'm selling it in my shop at £32 because of the standard 20% discount. But that printing has already sold out on pre-order to retailers and to people buying it direct from Footsore. They'll have some at Salute. After they run out of those, then that's it until May when the second printing comes out, but the price will change to £50. so I'll be doing 20% off. It'll be 40 from me, but if you can pick this up now, do so. The rules components, they're not really likely to be available cheaper separately, and even if you've got a box of hoplites or you've got some hoplites from another manufacturer, you do want the light troops, you want the dice, you want the counters, you want all the cards, you want the rules, you want the bases. It's worth picking up this starter set. It's not an expensive starter set, it's a high quality starter set. For what you get, it's a really good price, and I'm excited to get it out on the battlefield and give it a go. It's meant to be played on a 3x3 table. I've already bought a mat to go with that and to provide me with a playing area for it, so it's just painting up some armies and a little bit of terrain now. But yeah, very, very impressed with this. This is a really good purchase if you can get hold of it, and you might not be able to get hold of it until the second print, but 40-50 quid, it's still a great buy. For skirmish gaming, you'll need to paint up maybe 30-35 models to give yourself a lot of choice and to give yourself close to a 500 point army, but you can play this with 200 point forces easily. You can play a little game of heroes where you don't take any bases and you just take individuals, and you play it super skirmish. But really impressed with this, really like the production values, very impressed with the rules having read them. If you like Ancients, if you like skirmish games, I would recommend that you buy this. So, if you've liked this video, hit like and subscribe. If you want to chat, leave a comment below, but otherwise, good gaming.